going on, guys? Welcome back to my dumbbell and bench training series. We are on part 3 today, which is all about the shoulders. 6 exercises performed as 3 sets of supersets. So 1 exercise performed back to back. We're going to kick things off with seated Arnold press. Now, within this routine, you only need 2 pairs of dumbbells, a heavy and a lightish. We're going to start with the heavyish one. So Arnold presses, named after the great man himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger, basically go like this. You're going to do a conventional shoulder press, except instead of starting with your palms facing out and your elbows out, a straight up and down press, you're going to start with your palms facing inwards and really keep your forearms parallel to each other just in front of your chest. Now from here, we're going to open out and press up at the same time whilst opening out our grip. So palms go from facing you to facing out. It's one fluid, full movement. It's also a great warm-up for the shoulders as a whole. Now with this one, we're going to stick to 12 repetitions for each exercise. So sit up straight, open out the arms, press up, full lockout, and as you do, really try to consciously squeeze and engage the muscles in the shoulders. Then reverse that movement back down, close them back in, temporarily relieve tension from the shoulders, and repeat. After you perform 12 reps of these, we move on to the next exercise in our superset for this dual combo, and that is rear delt flies. Now ideally you can use the same heavy-ish weight. With this one, stand up, you're going to hinge at the hips, keeping the knees soft, pushing your butt back and tilting your back down, keeping it straight, but you don't need to be parallel to the floor on this one. Chest up, shoulders back, slight curvature in the lower back, and from here, just like you would with a chest fly, we're going to reverse that motion. The effort is opening the arms out, really focusing on those rear deltoids. So drive upwards with the elbows. The hands are really just holding onto the dumbbells. Drive the elbows up, stop when the arms get to about parallel with the back, and then bring them back down, but don't relieve the weight. You always want to keep tension on the muscle. 12 reps here. Try and minimize any momentum and swaying back and forth. That way you keep all of the effort on the rear shoulders. So if you need to lower the weight, do that. For this entire combo, you're going to perform each exercise back to back, go through all exercises, and then return back and repeat for rounds 2 and 3. So let's take a look at our second exercise pairing, and this one is a lateral raise with a front deltoid raise. Let's start with our lateral raise, one of my favorites for really developing the middle deltoid. And if you look at the shoulders, there's 3 main deltoid heads. The anterior, which is the biggest of the 3, the front shoulder muscle, the middle, not the medial, the middle deltoid head, and then the posterior at the back. This one really locks in on that middle deltoid. Now for this one, I like to perform these standing. You need to have one leg slightly back in front of the other, bit of a kickstand to help stabilize yourself, or keep both feet about shoulder width apart, knees slightly soft so you can kind of sit down into it, and then open out with the arms, once again driving with the elbows. What I mean by driving with the elbow is if you had a partner stand behind you and place their hands on your elbow, that's where you're pushing up from, not the hands. At the top of the rep, you want to make sure that your elbow is slightly rotated up and you have a straight line from your wrist, elbow, and shoulder. This means all of the effort and the work being done is on that middle deltoid, and you're not using other muscles like the biceps or a bit of momentum to get the weight up. Keep it strict, but move as much weight as you can. 12 reps. Then we're going to go back to our heavy weight and perform a front raise. But instead of performing both arms at the same time or alternating them, for this one, I like to use one dumbbell, hold on the underside, just like we would with a butler curl, except arms straight, slight bend in the elbow, and raise that dumbbell up. It's a great exercise for our front deltoids, which, like I said, get worked a lot in many other exercises, arm, chest, and practically all shoulder presses. Once we've completed our 12 reps here, we move on to our third and final combo. And for this one, shrugs and another prone rear delt fly. Let's talk about shrugs. It's not really working the shoulders, it's working the traps, the trapezius. I either like to work them with a back workout or shoulders. So let's throw them in today's shoulder routine. Dumbbells or barbell or a trap bar, but seeing as though we're using dumbbells, we'll stick with our heavy-ish dumbbells. Now typically you can move a lot of weight with shrugs, but because we're only sticking with the heavy-ish and the light-ish dumbbells, we're gonna slow down our negatives. What I mean by that is arms straight, we're not bending the elbow. As soon as we start to bend the elbow, we take the tension and the work off of the main muscle, the traps. So the arms are simply just holding onto the weight. Shrug your shoulders up as though you're trying to reach into your ear. Pause momentarily, squeeze your traps, and then slowly lower them back down for a count of 4. Performing these slower negatives will make it that much more intense and make the weight that we're lifting seem that much heavier. 12 reps with a 4-second negative. Now we're going to finish off our entire routine with a front facing on an incline bench rear delt fly. Now we're kind of mixing this with one of my favorites for traps, a Y raise. Y as in bringing our arms out to a Y formation. But because we might not have a full set of dumbbells here, we're going to modify this to a bit of a front and a rear delt raise. So position yourself at the top of the bench, chest down, and make sure that you've got a good firm footing to provide that stability on the bench. Holding the lightest dumbbells in your hands, elbows slightly bent, you're going to raise them out and slightly forward. So it's not quite a rear delt fly, but it's also not quite a front delt fly. You're going to feel this one on your traps and across between your middle and the rear deltoid. 12 reps here, keep it slow, under control, and keep that tension in the muscle the entire time. Once you're done with that round, head back to the first exercise, stick with the same weight, but if you can, try and increase your rep range from 12 up to 14, 15. Rounds 2, 3 really become challenging, and the great thing about this routine is you don't need a whole range of different weights, just the light and the heavy dumbbell. All right, so that's the workout taken care of. What about nutrition? Now, I spoke about this in my past videos. It's key if you want to make progress in the gym and see the benefits from your training that we need to be eating enough and the right types of food. That means, as a rule of thumb, about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight to get your necessary protein needs. If I'm 175 pounds, about 175 grams of protein I need divided throughout the day. Calories, a good rule of thumb, if you're trying to cut down, 11, 12 calories per pound. If you're trying to add a little bit of muscle, 15, 16 calories per pound. That will give you the total caloric intake. Take your protein and then the rest, carbs and fats, you can make up. Again, if you're trying to put on some weight, a little bit more carbs. If you're trying to cut down, keep the calories moderate, but add enough healthy fats and fiber. Now, what about post-workout nutrition? Typically, I'll grab my shake, have some fast-acting simple sugars, or another great alternative is this. This is a Built bar, tons of great flavors. This one, cookies and cream, and only 5 grams net carbs. So I might add a piece of fruit with this as well. About 130, 150 calories they range to, and 18 grams of protein thereabouts. So just enough protein to be able to provide that anabolic window, and then I'll eat about 40 minutes later. Let me break it apart and show you inside, because this is not like any other protein bar. Real chocolate, so I get my chocolate fix, and then look at that. None of these Rice Krispie kind of ingredients. This is real nugget, real chocolate, tastes great. And you know, I have a box of these at my house, in the gym, a couple in my car as well. Great snack if you're between meals, post-workout, and even if you want kind of a little cheat at night, not too many calories, good amount of protein. And it tastes just like candy, except with all the unnecessary sugar and calories in there. Find out more about Built Bar in the link in the description, and you'll find the full breakdown of today's routine in there as well. All right guys, I'm gonna head back, prepare my next meal. Check back in with you soon, and you'll find more of my workouts and nutrition tips, tricks and strategies on my Instagram. Be sure to give these guys a follow as well. I'll include them in the link below. Keep training hard, get stronger. See you guys soon. Take care.